Hello, hello. Okay. Good evening, everybody. It's amazing to have you here. It's good to have you here this beautiful Tuesday evening. I'm excited to welcome you to another episode of the Overflow Mind Shift section with Benedict Obiajulu. It's another evening to shift your mind from what you don't know to what you should know and uncover the secrets to making wealth. I'm happy to have you here. It's an amazing evening. We always have this every Tuesday. And if you missed the last episode, please do well to check on our page to get yourself up to speed with lots of secrets that takes you to different levels and stages of your life. Today is another Tuesday, and we are about to blow your mind again. And just to let you know, our speaker is already here. You see, that's one of the essence of this, to teach you punctuality, because that's one of the secrets. Our speaker is already here and he's ready to blow your mind again. So without wasting much of our time, make welcome Mr. Benedict Obiajulu. Good evening, sir. Good to have you here this evening.
Good evening, Mike. Good evening. It's a beautiful evening. How are you today? It's a
I'm very
beautiful.
well, thank you, sir. How are you, sir?
I'm grateful and I'm enjoying myself. Hope you're good.
I'm very good, sir.
Okay. It's okay. Okay, good evening and welcome everyone. It's a beautiful day. Um, Looking at what we have, I want to be sure that I have people at the background. And please, when you come in, kindly introduce yourself and where you're joining us from. And remember to do share the link. We were supposed to have one of my friend come to teach us today, but in the last 24 hours, he had an impromptu meeting and he has promised to be with us next week. And he is Dr. Reverend Ebuka Auzie, and he'll be coming to teach us by next week, right? And so today we want to be sure. I want to have feedbacks, please. Share the link, and if possible, who can remember what we talked about last week, right? So that we can look at building up from there. Because that was last week was Easter, but the week before then we had a section, because learning is never in isolation. It's in building blocks. It's in building blocks, right? So it's beautiful to be here. Okay, Pascaline from Asaba, welcome. It is nice to have us here. Please let's share the link and invite as much persons as possible, because you know um if most people join us in the middle, they get not to um, enjoy the totality of what we are sharing, right? So today we want to look at something, an important concept, an important concept. And what is that concept about? It is the concept of how to position yourself in the market. It is how to position yourself in the market, because people don't buy land. They they buy the person they trust. Does that make sense? People don't buy land, they buy the person they trust. They don't buy land, they just buy the person they trust. They buy the person they trust, not not land. People don't buy anything. Buy the person and that for that. And because land is a wonderful commodity. It is the only commodity that you don't go with. And if it's the only commodity you don't go, even when you marry a lady, you take the lady home. When you adopt a child, you take the child, right? But anything real estate, you buy a house, it's going to remain in that location, except you're buying a new house, right? Right. So if you buy the land will remain in that location. You won't go home with it. You will just go authority over it. So is an asset that is categorically funny in terms of how people purchase it, right? So what I'm saying is that people don't buy land; they buy the person they trust. So if they don't trust you, they will not buy from. And what we know is that as man relates with God through faith, man relates with man through trust, right? The business of man to God is faith. The business of man to man is trust. So, meaning that trust is an attribute that can be built, since faith is an attribute that can be built, right? So, it's about when you are well positioned, when you keep positioning yourself. I read something today and it reminded me something. It says that the hardest part is showing up, and that 80% of success is locked in showing up. There's some elements of truth there, not full element of truth, but there is an element of truth, right? So positioning the seller for presenting the property. There are three levels of persons that sell land, right, or sell real estate or sell housing. There are three levels. We have the hawker, right? I like to call the first stage the hawker. These are, you always meet them on Facebook, on WhatsApp, and that people that will say, "Oh, I'm carrying my business on my head for today. Come and buy, come and buy, come and buy. Buy land. Oh, it's promo. We are running promo." All the time when they believe that sales must happen is when promo is going on, because their focus is on price, right? So either the land is cheap or it's a promo land, or the land is good. You buy 5, you get 1 free. You buy 10, you get 10 free. Things like that. I'm not saying that those are not good offers. Yeah, there are offers in the marketplace. Beautiful. But now, if you only excel during that time, if your main language online, offline is buy because it's cheap, buy because we are running promo, buy because you know what you are? You're a hawker. Your focus is basically on price. People ignore or they will bargain hard. And those are the people that now bargain hard. Oh, this product is 10 million, but they will keep pricing it, keep pricing it, keep pricing it, keep pricing it, keep pricing it in your hand. They will still go to another place and they will not price it, because your focus is price. Since your focus is price, the person you're selling with to would also be focused on price, right? So the second level is what we call the agent, right? So when people graduate there, because they now what does the agent focus on? Futures. Oh, the land is in third road, right? Land is in good location. Here are the documents. So they focus on it's C of O. C of O is a future. Don't forget. Oh, we have C of O. This is the location of the land. Their focus is on the futures. Remember, the hawker, his focus is on price, which translates to cheap land or promo land, right? And then, so we get that, right? So results, they make some sales, but these sales are not consistent, right? When people are buying land, when people are buying an asset class, people mainly buy for their personal reasons, not because of your own reasons. Okay? Not because of your own reasons. So some sales, they make some sales, but these guys are not consistent. And then where we want to go is to become the advisor, is to become the consultant, is to become the investor. This third level, where do they focus? These guys focus on the future of the buyer. They, they focus on the future of the buyer. The focus on the future of the buyer. The focus on the future of the buyer. Don't forget it. And this is, remember, this is where we want to be at all times. We want to be able to, we want to be able to always to get to this level of echelon, this level um of perception, this level of being just like when you meet a doctor, right? The doctor is x-raying you, is how so the doctor can know how to prescribe the dosage for you, right? You are the one to tell him the tummy is like this. So you're focusing on the future of the buyer. The focus is on the future of the buyer, right? Not so it's based on income and future plan. So this guy is his focus is on the future of the buyer. So what is he focused? What is he known for? He's known for looking at based on the income and the future plan. That this land now becomes a smart move for the person, because not every land is a smart move. A man in his 60s is not. What is he basically doing with land bank? Is he banking the land to where? I don't know where he will bank the land to, but you get what I'm saying. But the young man that is in his 20s and he's all his focus is on prime lands in prime location. That is beautiful too. But he's leaving a lot of money that could have accumulated to him because of the time he has to witness life, which is land banking, right? So the result here, trust. They focus on building trust, because now you're working with people's budget. You are working with people's plan. This guy wants to send a child to school. You have been able to discover it. You first understand. So for you to be able to work with someone's income, it goes hand in hand. You will now be able to understand um, you will now be able to understand that selling is about questioning, it's about helping, it's about serving. So you're questioning this person so you can serve him. You get it? So the result for this guy, the other guy is he makes some sales, but he's not consistent. But for this guy, what happens? He builds trust, he makes easy sales, and he has a continuous stream of referrals. Because the truth is, in the marketplace, if you sound like everybody, you will struggle like everybody. Yeah, I will say that again. In the marketplace, if you sound like everybody, you will struggle like everybody. Don't forget it. So now, the second thing, you have learned these three ones, right? So we now move on. How do we start thinking? How are we moving to this focusing on the buyer's future, which makes us, just as the doctor is focusing on your future, how does this toothache get away, right? Good. And then, so how do they, number one is how to position yourselves. One of them is how do we position ourselves in this market? Is identity. In the core of positioning is what we call identity. In the core of what we call positioning in sales or in whatever it is what we call identity. 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 Who are you? Who are you in the marketplace? Who are you? Who do you think you are? Who do you say you are? What do you tell yourself? Right? So who do you call yourself? Your parents calls you a name, you've called yourself that name. So who are you in the market? But I want you to have an identity that makes you become a helper, that makes you become a servant, right? That makes you become a world partner. So you have to choose the one that best fits you based on the client base you serve, right? So I prefer to see myself as a helper, someone that helps people secure land in fast development corridors, in fast growing areas, right? So they will not regret later when those places become discount. I like to see myself as a helper that helps people buy money at a discount. I help to see myself as the person that helps people get land today that in 10 years I didn't say in 2 years. In 10 years, that land can save them, right? That land can do a lot to them. So in terms of if I'm selling houses, how do I want to see myself? All right. So it's important. So what is your own core identity? I don't want to dwell much on that because I want this training to be short, right? But have a core identity. Are you a helper? Are you a wealth builder? Are you a servant? So just know who you are. Then secondly is what we call authority. Remember, what knowledge is to give you the open door to be able to make decisions that can make your life beautiful. And so if you hear this and you don't go back to say, okay, let me go back, let me do some pen and paper, put some pen to paper and craft or redesign or craft what you want to be, is not going to work. Hmm? Authority. Why should people trust you? Yeah? That's the number one. Number two rather. Number one was identity. Number two is authority. Why should people trust you? It's a game of trust. We have said before that in this game, in the business world, we deal with God by faith, we deal with man by trust, right? Do I have authority? You are. So if you ask yourself, do you have authority? For you to have authority, to show you have authority in banking and finance, you will share us updates on banking and finance. If you want to tell us you have authority in the real estate industry, you should share us update, deep knowledge, not just update. Because when I say update, it looks like happening things that we can find on Facebook or on social media. Share us the knowledge that we cannot Google, that you could have gotten through the volume of the books. Through you have got it through interacting with living men that are living encyclopedias that have made and coined their fortune through what? Through real estate, right? So share authority. Don't just share prices. Don't just share, oh, price is going up. No. Be the man that is always sharing authority. That is always sharing knowledge. In sharing knowledge, your authority rises because authority is ascribed. I will say it again. Authority is ascribed. For people to ascribe authority to you, you should share knowledge in that field, right? Talk about government expansion, talk about master plan, talk about the future of the locale you're selling. Talk about the 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 terrain of what it is. That is why at this point I had someone saying that a business that is not in the media is not in business, meaning that if you're not in the media, you are not in business, right? So always know that. So number three is what we call empathy. Understand the buyer. Remember the number three one, focus is on the buyer's future. Right? The advisor, he focuses on the buyer's future. And that is who you want to become. Now we're talking about what about the buyer? We're talking about empathy. What empathy do you have towards the buyer? What are you planning? So when you know, because if you are interested in my future, you should ask me questions in relation to, is this land favorable for me? Maybe I have a child that should be in Harvard in 3 years, and you're giving me a land that will take 20 years for it to start generating rent of upwards of 50 million, right? It doesn't make sense. My child have finished going to Harvard and come back. Do you get it? My child have finished going to the A-list university I seek and I come back. But if you ask me well and I'm able to provide to you, oh, in 10 years, in 5 years. So someone that has a child that wants to go to Harvard in 3 years and he wants to use that investment to fund the child's stay in Harvard, They don't have the same investment horizon. What fits this guy and what fits this guy is not the same. This guy is looking for raw cash flow. He's looking for a place that is already in a fast develop in a development corridor that he can start building immediately. And when he's done building, people takes it. So that from that rent, he can use it, the cash flow from it to. But the other guy that maybe he needs 20 years, he needs 10 years for his child to go to the university, right? Could afford to buy smart city and take 6 7 years to do that. But the guy that, oh, I want to do this in 3 years, I want to do this in 2 years, is smart city the option for him? The answer is no. Despite it's your product, but you know it's not. And that is why you must learn to have this. Anytime you go and you're having a chit chat with a doctor, no, that is how you must be having a chit chat with your client. You must be asking a lot of questions, right? What are you planning this land for? So always know that your question is targeted to what are you planning on this land? This land you want to buy, why do you want to buy it? What is your plan? Is it land flipping or is it land banking? Okay, funny enough, I had a client that thought that land banking was you give the person money and then after a while, the person will bring the money and give you back. And it was a funny concept, and it took me a lot of time to be able to um, demystify that understanding, right? So land banking is the purpose of aggregating lands in undeveloped areas for the purpose of investment. So you buy them at the period of their own development, and you wait. They do announcements or pre-development, or you can buy them pre-development, which is the best, so that your waiting period is shortened and you hold it for a long period of time, normally for 10 years, right? Upwards. That is land bank. And that is how majority of 90% of, when you hear 90% of millionaires make their money through real estate, they are talking about land banking. So it's not about giving buy to sell, you give me money, in 3 months' time, I give you money back. No, that is a little form of MMM scheme that needs SEC regulation, but they find a way to maneuver it, right? But that's by the way. So solve problems with your questions. Empathy. Solve question. Solve problems with your question. A businessman. Oh, you are into trading. I'm not thinking of this is it's just to secure myself. Yes. Remember, if you have read this book by Otedola, and the book is Making It Big. And we remember when Otedola had a lot of issue, and the late Herbert Miwe came to him and said, "You need to shed some weight." What was he meaning? That he has to give up some properties. He later did that, but he had properties in the tune of 200 billion. But was he in the real estate sector? No, he was in the oil and gas. But why did he have such large, sorry, not 200 billion naira? Why did he have such large portfolio? Because he understands the game. Because when your business have issues, have crises, you have to run to your backup. They should be like your backup. They should be like your reserve, right? So these are the questions you go out to be able to and really do things understanding that, oh, in the long run, this client is going to benefit from this property, right? So direction. The fourth one is direction. Guide the client. Don't rush them. Guide them in making clean cut decisions. So when we say guide, we are talking about the aggressive guys. People buy mostly because of fear of missing out. And then people can also delay to infinite, right? Now, so if you always see yourself always aggressive, don't be. Guide them to make that decision because you are building trust, right? But you are guiding them to know that, oh, if I were you, I could have bought this place. I would secure 2 plots here before the price doubles. If I were you, I would secure these or I will secure that before the end of this month. If I were you, once I receive this, my statutory um, allowances from this my bankers, from this investment, I will make 50% investment in land banking, and then I'll make 50% investment in cash flow assets. Right? So one plot here, one plot there. And what happens? And an empire is being built. Right? Here are some credible scripts. And funny, in becoming well positioned, your script is very important. Let me say that again. In your ability to be able to be well positioned in the market, your script, that is the line you're known for, must be well established, whether it's in comedy. So when you look at your comedians, you notice they have this line, right? So you must also have this sales line. When someone immediately tells you how are you and asks you what you do, your client is born, a potential client is born, whether he can buy or he has someone that can buy. As funny as it is, that is it, right? So strong positioning, strong positioning, strong positioning. So most people wait. So example of a script that I normally, what I personally use that I love to use, I sell money at a discount. It's short and it fits what I'm selling, right? So here are some samples that you could decide to keep it on your paper, and you could walk around with it. So most people wait until development comes before buying, but by then prices are already higher. Smart buyers position early, and smart money makes smart moves. Right? I know it's quite long, but I'll take it again. So, most people wait until development comes before buying. Like you're shooting a video within an area, it's not yet developed. You're selling land banking, you're selling a place that is not in the city center. Yeah, development is not yet there, but we know that is in the waiting, is in that pre-development that you make the money, not not when everywhere is bubbling. Yeah? Most people wait until development comes before buying. But by then, prices are already higher, and smart buyers position early. And that's a strong positioning. So you want to tell someone about positioning early. That's different from selling money at a discount. This is another class of its own, right? So another one is at this price, you are entering before infrastructure comes in. In that, and that is where the real profit is. Excuse me. Do you understand? You see, at this price, you're entering before infrastructure comes in. And that is where the real profit is. That is where the real profit is. At this price, you're entering before infrastructure. And there's one funny thing about infrastructure. When infrastructure is entering, when development is coming, for every block that is added, it adds a price. For every cement, for every bag of cement, you will pay for it. What I mean by you will pay for it is, so the road is being done. For every of that road, maybe before the road is done, while the road are doing the road are selling the place 50 million. When the road is done, everywhere is melee. They're not selling what? 20 million. Are you seeing it? Then tomorrow there's a new house on the block. It did not affect that land though. That land is still bushes and everything there. But you pay for it. So hope you get that. So it's at this price you're entering before infrastructure comes, and that is where the real profit is. So when you are holding the land and those road is going, your neighbors are building. This power is going up. This is going up. Licenses are being released. This and the other one, certificate occupancies are coming. And for every infrastructure you see on ground, because the paperwork will always, you may not see the paperwork, but the infrastructure, you will see them. And most infrastructure are backed by paper, right? So let's get that. So there's another fourth one is what we call body language and presence. As simple as that is, when just like when you're having a deep sales, you are trying to close a deal of 100 million, 200 million, and you have not closed those type of deals for the first time. You would want to sit face to face with the person you are making that transaction with. But when you are in the range of doing transactions of 1.2 billion, 3 billion, 4 billion, you may start doing phone transactions of 100 million, 200 million, because that near beneath you then. But when you're entering a new phase, when those transactions are life changing for you at based on the stage you are at the time, your body language is critical, right? And funny enough, even body language and presence can even be seen afar. For instance, you're making a sales call and you're sitting down. Even your vocal cord is not alert. Even your brain doesn't understand that there's a critical work at play. Right? So one of them in terms of positioning is that you must not look desperate. You want the deal, but you don't need the deal. Yeah, you want it, but you don't need it. If it comes, it's good. If it doesn't come, it's good. You want the people on your team, but you don't need them. If they're there, you're good. If they're not there, it's good. Right? You want the client to be your client. If he becomes your client, that is superb, but you don't need them. You declare your want, but don't show your need. Declare your want, but don't show your need. Declare your want, right? So speak calmly, not hurriedly. And I see this mistake with ladies a lot, right? You go to, because they're used to talking very fast and with the upcoming Gen Zs and you're talking to a client. He's not processing. You're so much in a hurry. There's tension everywhere. The more relaxed you are, the more calm you are, the more there's a concentration, right? So learn to speak calmly. Don't be hurried. Dress clean and simple. If you overdress, it's a big red flag. It's a big red flag, right? Clean and simple. Then maintain eye contact. Maintain eye contact because what you're selling is sales is transfer of emotions. How will you transfer it if you are not looking? How will you transfer it? When you want to communicate to a lady, I love you, you want to be looking at her eyes, right? Then she will tend to believe you. Then she will say she had a cold chill. And then when you're looking at it, talking to the client, you're not looking at his face. Okay? So confidence sells more than grammar. What you're selling is confidence. So this don't look desperate, speak calmly, don't be hurried, dress clean and simple, maintain clean eye contact, right? So these are important. And fourthly, I want to talk about online positioning. I would always have someone come teach us about this, right? When we talk about online positioning, online positioning, online positioning. You're not if you're not teaching about how places develop, even if you have taught it before, teach it again. It's important. It's important. It's important. As important as this may be, you need to be talking about the developmental trends. You need to be sending one picture or the other. Some people have more grace there. Some people have less grace. But just try and be doing something. Try and be doing something. Just at the end, the man that wins is the man that thinks he can. That is at the end of the day, right? So be the man. So when you're doing videos, not always come and buy land. No, it can be three reasons why smart people are buying land. No, Bas Nancy Smart City in 2026. You do a clean cut video, edit it, and put on your YouTube. Three reasons smart investors are buying land in Bas Nancy Smart City now, right? What I would do if I had if I had 1 million naira, what I would do if I had 1 million naira. It could be what I would do if I had 10 million naira. So you could make topics around that. What I would do if we got back, if we were in the year 2010. You can even do what I wish I did in the year 2026 from year 2040, right? So somebody, how many years back? 16 years? Now 2040 is 16 years, right? 16 years, 14 years differential. And you could show how the city must have developed, how things would have become. And what? So be creative. And in that creativeness, you will be able to become well positioned. My people, the gift we have is the gift of now. The gift we have is the gift of power, is the gift of having this clear cut understanding that when we sow, we will reap. And what are we going to reap? We're going to reap seeds. So if you sow the seeds of knowledge, if you sow the seeds of understanding how things work, and you walk on them, yet will work. So I want to encourage you. I want to encourage us. I want to even know what did we pick from this section. Okay, a lot of people later joined the training, and that's beautiful. Um, that's beautiful. So, what did we really learn from this section? Were you able to pick anything? Did anything stand out for you? I want to end it here because it's I've said a lot of critical things today. I want you to take the remaining time, look at it, map yourself, map your life, and it could be one thing, it could be two things. Just become better. That's the goal. Just become better. Shaking up in your online position, in the kind of videos you do. And that is it. So, my people, have we been able to learn something? Mike, I would like you to come online and take over from here. And funny, I would love to take questions. It's been a very long while I took questions in training, and I would like to take questions if there are. And I want to have feedback uh, from the comment section. Oh, Sarah, you're just joining us now. Wonderful. So that we could move on and call it a beautiful day, because good things are happening. It depends on how you see it. Hello, Mike. Oh, it's like the young man is no longer here.
I'm
Mike, I was
here,
looking
sir.
for you.
I'm with
Okay.
you. No, I was trying to write down some things to ensure I don't also forget because I'm also part of those learning. I cannot miss out.
It's
Okay,
okay.
thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for this another mind shift section. A lot of things I just had to write it down. Forgive me for coming late. So you see, guys, I have also taken in knowledge. I'm not just here to usher him in and just run away. No, I am also here to gain so that I will also shift my mind from the level I don't know to the level I know. You see, that's how it works. So welcome everybody. I didn't mention your names. Pascaline from Asaba, Confidence from Asaba, Mr. Christian from Asaba, Joseph Ulika from Asaba, Dr. Kevin from Asaba, God Sent from Asaba, Winifred from Asaba, Lillian, and so many of you that are currently on this call. I see you, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening. It's good to have you here. It's good to interact in conversations that help you grow. That is the goal of this. And it will be awesome for you to continue to share this video on your pages so that persons who are not here will be able to learn and they don't miss out, because it is always known that wealth is built in community. That is a very amazing time with Mr. Benedict Obiajulu, and I've been so happy that I was here this evening. It's really good to have you all here. Okay, don't forget we'll be having our physical training on Friday. This Friday at by 11 a.m. at the company's training hall. Don't miss it. It is opposite the government house, Anwai Road, Asaba, Delta State. Another level of mind shift will happen again, this time live, face to face. So from wherever you are, you make efforts to show up so we can help elevate your mind. Thank you all for being here this evening. Until I come your way once again next week, it is so amazing to always have you here. I'm just feeling so happy this evening about this training. And I love you all. I want you to have a lovely evening and make sure you plan your tomorrow before you go to bed. Good evening and have a lovely night.